Hello, welcome back today. What does lookup actually mean on Excel, right? We've have been coming, here and say use lookup, use Vlookup, use Hlookup, or is there another lookup that that hasn't been mentioned? Right, that's what we want to look quickly today, and then let's quickly discuss lookup. So, what does it mean to say you want to use lookup in the Excel? And I'm going to use um, this data set I have on the screen to explain to you. Take for instance, we have this employee data, right, where um, the appraisals for the employees, I mean, for a particular quarter of the month or the year, has been calculated. And then we have a scorecard on this left, where we have done our grouping to say if you score between here and here, you'll be graded fail, and the remark of fail is F. Remember, it was done in the school while we're in the school, right? Those days. For you that are still in the school, you have a fresh memory of it, right? I remember then we said that if you score between 80, right, and then 80 and 100, that's distinction. 70 to 79 should make B, right? B2, if I'm correct. Then C is within 50, 50, I mean, maybe 59 or 50 to 59. Yes, to 69. And there's one I won't forget. If you have, if you score below 39, that's fail. So we call it F9, right? So this is a similar scorecard, then with a different kind of grading. Here we say 95 to 100 makes extension, and that is it. But if you score between 90 to 94.5 or thereabout, that makes B plus, right? 85 upward to before 90 makes B, and then you score 0 to 39 should give you to 49 here should give you F, right? That's fantastic. That's the scorecard. Now, VLOOKUP tells you that let's say for example I want to begin uh to put in the remarks for all these employees: Michael Judikoff, Amber Bullock, Dodo Mayana, Remado Tom, right? If I'm to put it manually, I would say 37. Michael Judikoff score 37, and 37 under the scorecard should fall under uh fail, so the grade would be fail, right? Ideally, I'm supposed to write fail and say the remark will be fail, and I'm supposed to put in the grade to be fail, right? The same way it is, remark is F and the grade is fail, right? And I'm going to do the same thing for Amber Bullock. Amber Bullock has a score 98, and then looking at it, checking the scorecard, 98 should be A for the remark, and grade should be the extension. Now imagine I have to do this for all these employee, about 30 employee right here. It's going to take my time, right? I mean, assume it is not even 30. We are dealing with hundreds of thousands number of employee. Is that how you keep, imputing the data one after the other? You spend years doing that, right? Now, this is what VLOOKUPs tells you, helps you to do. With VLOOKUP, you will instruct Excel to say that, okay, Mr. Excel, look at this score, right? These values that I have here, this score of the employee, compare it with what I have on this array, on this table array that I've called scorecard. Compare it with it and tell me what is the best grade that fits this employee. Look up to this array, look up to this array and compare this value. In this case, the value will be called the lookup value because that is what you are looking up to on the table array, right? So look up to this value that is going to be called lookup value, compare it to this grade, to this scorecard, the range and table range on this scorecard, and decide, tell me, return a value, return a grade or a remark that best fit the lookup value, the value 37. That is exactly what lookups means, right? But then lookup comes in three, types. There are three types of lookup. In a scenario like this, where the table, the arrangement, the table, the scorecard is arranged vertically, right? Which is usually the common way of arranging a table from column downward, right? In a scenario like this, the table is arranged vertically. So if you're going to perform VLOOKUP with this kind of table arrangement, you will use VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP to mean vertical lookup. That is, you are looking up to the table, to a vertical table. But look at this other instance I have here. If the table is arranged horizontally like this, you can see all of them are still the same thing: score, grade, and remark. Score, grade, and remark. But then this is arranged horizontally. You will use what we call the H lookup, right? H lookup means horizontal lookup, right? The third type of lookup is the X lookup, which have a slight, difference to the meaning of this. But then H lookup and V lookup will perform exactly the same function. The difference between them is just the arrangement of the table array. That is fine. I'm sure you understand that. Before we move further, please, I encourage us to subscribe to this channel, SoftView Analytics. Subscribing to it means that you will receive notifications whenever we drop in new classes, lessons like this, right? And I hope it keeps helping you to improve on your Excel skill and become a better data analyst, right? I know you are doing that. Thank you very much. So we continue. So to get in the remark for Michael Dudikoff, I'm going to obviously have explained that I'm going to use the VLOOKUP because I'm looking at this. I'm going to be looking up to this table array. So I'll say VLOOKUP, right? I'll call out the syntax of that function, and I have these arguments. The first argument is asking me, put in the lookup value. And I explained that this 37, the number that you want to compare with the table array, is going to be your lookup value, right? I have comma to move to the next argument. The next argument is asking me, where is the table array that I want to look up into? And I'm going to select it from here down there. But there is an important note. Once you have selected the table array, you must lock it using F4, right? Lock it using F4. Locking it means that you have prevented the data set from moving beyond this highlighted table, beyond the selected table, right? So once you have done that, use your comma to move to the next argument. The next argument is asking you, put in the column index number. Column index number. So you're going to look at the table array. How many columns has the table array? It has the score column, the grade column, and the remark column, right? That is 3. So you're going to label it from left to right. Score column means should represent 1, 2 should represent grade column, and 3 should represent the remark column, right? I know you are following it as we move. The next thing is to now say, okay, what are we doing? We want to call out, we want to return the remark. What number is remark? On the labeling, remark should be number 3. So therefore, your column index number will be 3. Just put in there and go ahead to type your comma and move to the next argument. So this next argument is asking you range lookup. Range lookup is just asking you that out of the table array that you are looking up into, the lookup value, which is 37, will I get it there as an exact match, or it will fall within a range of number? If the 37 is an exact match, you will select false, which means exact match, right? But because it is not an exact match, it's a range. You remember I explained at the beginning that any employee who score between 0 and 39, right, will be remarked F. right? So meaning that this guy fall under, I mean, Michael Dudikoff scoring 37 still fall under fail is a range of number. So I am going to say it's an approximate match. But you should understand that approximate match here means true, exact match means false. On the other hand, you can decide to use 1 to represent approximate match and 0 to represent false, right? So it's either you come here, double click on this approximate match and have false, and have true rather, or you just on your keyboard you just type in 1 to represent true, right? Having done this, close the bracket, right, and press your enter. You can see what has happened. It has returned fail for Michael Dudikoff. And if you drag it down, it's going to do the same thing exactly to all the employees that are there. So we can cross-check that. Amber Bullock scoring 98 returns A. I don't need to write it one, keep writing it down the group. So even if I have a data set with of over 1 million rows, the same operations will help me to call out my value and I'll work seamlessly. I hope this is very fine for you. This is exactly how the VLOOKUP operates. I'm going to do the same thing for you to understand uh, how it works on the Hlookup, and I'm going to do it here. Right here, I'll be grading, I'll be using the grade, and if I label it, right, the column index number or what I explained it to be. So score becomes 1, grade becomes 2, and remark becomes 3. So let's quickly do that. That's 8 equals to Hlookup this time around. I'm going to call it out. My lookup value is 37. My table array, I'm going to select it right from here down to the end of the table, and remember I must lock it using F4. It has been locked. Then I'll dial in my comma to move to the next column, and it's asking row index number. This time around it is not asking column index number because we are on the Hlookup. So it's asking you what's the row index number, and because I'm working on the grid, my row index number becomes 2. So I'm going to press 2 and comma. What's my range lookup? Here I'm going to use 1, right? To let you see that true and false. True represents 1 and false represents 0. So I will say 1 and close the bracket, enter. It has called in, I have failed for that very particular employee, Michael Dudikoff. The grade is failed and it has returned failed. If I fill in down, right, I have that. This is fantastic. I have kept this grade column for you to do the same thing for grade using either of the Hlookup value of vertical or VLOOKUP, right? Either of the VLOOKUP or the Hlookup. I want you to do that and get your answer. If it is correct, drop it on the comment box that you get the correct answer. If you have issue doing it, put in your issue on the comment box and I'll respond to you to see what is wrong with what you have done. Right. I hope this helps you to understand better what lookup value means. Once again, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel and get our notifications whenever we come up to teach you new things on the Excel or data analytics with Power BI and SQL, just like we have done. Thank you very much. Have a very wonderful day.